All right, we are live on Instagram, live on Facebook. Hello, my name is Dr. Rupi Orchler, call me Rupi, and we're going to be doing a no chop, one pot sambal curry. Say it with me, no chop, one pot sambal curry. As easy as you like. The reason why it's no chop, and I've only got the knife here for demonstration purposes, I'm putting this away in my trusty cutlery cabinet. The reason why I'm doing no chop is because I get asked so many times by friends of mine, I would love to do your recipes, but I can't chop, I don't know how to use a knife, I'm terrible in the kitchen. Well, you only need some digits and some opposing thumbs for this recipe. That's all you need. We'll do a quick whip around the ingredients. Any person can do this, okay? Doesn't matter about your culinary background or like how experienced you are. And if you're cooking along with me today, give me a thumbs up. I want to know who is actually cooking with me, because I would love to know who is, and give me any pointers. If you want me to sort of help out, or you know, if you have any questions whilst we're cooking, just let me know and I'll try and see if I can see them there. All right, so whip around the ingredients. We've got a lovely pan. I'm using just a flat pan here. You can use a saucepan, totally fine. Got some boiling water, make sure it's boiled. Some brown rice noodles, or you can use any sort of noodles that you just put water on. Rice noodles will be fine. We have some king oyster mushrooms, but you could use sort of any fancy ones. You could use button mushrooms. We've got some basil. I couldn't get Thai basil actually, so if you're using basil, that's totally fine. Thai basil will work absolutely well, but you could use coriander as well, that would work. Now I'm using mung bean sprouts, so these you can buy them in most supermarkets. Any lentil sprouts will do as well. If you can't get these, frozen peas, edamame, you can buy them frozen, totally fine, so definitely go for those. We've got 160 grams of those. We've got some green beans, simple green beans. Again, haven't chopped them, they're already trimmed, but I'm just going to rip them up in a bit. Some coconut flakes, but you can use desiccated coconut milk, some ghee, but you can use coconut oil if you're vegan, plant-based, whatever, or you don't like ghee. This is the ghee that my mum made, so I'm definitely going to use that. Some tamari or soy sauce, and crème de la crème piece de resistance, the sambal curry paste. But if you can't get this, laksa paste, Malaysian paste, any old paste really, will definitely work absolutely fine. A good 3 teaspoons or tablespoons of that. I'm going to start cooking. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we've got our pan on a medium heat, right? Medium heat. Oh, just to finish off, this meal is going to be for 2 people. It's got 3 portions of vegetables per serving, and it's only using 1 pan. This is the doctor's kitchen sort of methodology, man. So it is the way I like to cook. It is how we get more nutrient-dense vegetables into your diet on a daily basis. If you have 3 doctor's kitchen meals a day, you are smashing your almost 10 a day goals. So you know, this is the way we do things now in the kitchen. So in we go with a little bit of ghee. Probably going to go with about a teaspoon or so. You don't need too much, and just let that melt away in the pan. And with the mushrooms, you can tell I've already started ripping them up. With the mushrooms, you just rip them up. You're just ripping them up. You don't need to. You can cut them if you want to use your knife. Be my guest. But I'm just saying, for demonstration purposes only, you don't need to use your knife. I'm trying to get strands, and the reason why I'm trying to get the strands is because it gives that sort of meaty texture as well. I mean, if you're using pre-cooked chicken or leftover chicken, that'll work as well, or even prawns, that could work. But we're going to pop that in the pan here, and you're listening out for that sizzle. We're not going to season, because what I'm trying to do is create a little bit of texture with this meal. So we're going to pop these mushrooms in the pan and cook them for about 5 minutes or so they get nice colour, a bit of sautéed on them, and we're going to remove them from the pan and then set them aside, and then we'll get on with the rest of the curry. So if you didn't want to add that step, if you can't be bothered, and sometimes I can't be bothered either, to be honest, then don't worry about it. You can just throw everything at the same time. It's gonna come out the same way. So, oh wow, we've got someone saying hi from Florida. Hey, how's it going? What's it like in Florida actually? Is the weather good? Is it humid? I'm sure it's, well, I mean, we've got pretty good weather at the moment, to be fair. Who else have we got? Katie, my favourite. Are all mushrooms equally nutritious? Really good question. So, first thing to say is mushrooms as a family of ingredients are absolutely wonderful. They contain sort of novel antioxidants like ergothioneine. They are full of things like B vitamins. They contain beta-glucans, which are specialized types of fibers that are amazing for your gut as well as some sort of mushrooms that contain vitamin D. Are they all as nutritious as each other? Well, inherently mushrooms are all going to have different nutritional properties, different phytochemical properties. I would say it's more about variety rather than sort of pitting one mushroom over the other. So I try and get trompette, chicken of the woods. It's actually the name of a type of mushroom that looks really sort of, it's quite a beast, and it's amazing. I'm just going to rip these up here, so you can just rip them up and then just, because I'm trying to do the strands, but I'm also cooking live at the same time, so it's a little bit of a challenge, but just be rough with it, get your nails in, clean hands obviously, and then pop this all in there. So going back to the mushroom question, I think they're a family of really, really nutritious ingredients, so we should try and get a variety of them as best as possible. Okay, so that's going in there. Probably just going to do one more, and then we're just going to stir it around the pan with a few of the coconut leaves and get some colour on that as well. And let's see if we've got any other questions. Good morning from Auckland. Wow! Hey, how's it going? So you're going to make this tonight, I'm assuming, Leslie. That's awesome. And I can't see. The thing about Instagram Lives is that they don't put the background on it, so it's really hard to see. If you put mushrooms in sunlight, then they do absorb more vitamin D. Yes, they do. You have to put them up with the gills, and the gills is like the underside of the mushroom pointing up towards the UV rays that you get from the sun, and they will convert it into vitamin D. But unfortunately, it will be a minimal amount of vitamin D. It won't be an appreciable amount, and it's certainly not comparable to the vitamin D that you will endogenously create from exposure to the sun. So your skin will change, I forget the chemical name now, it's basically, I can see it in my head, it's 25-OH2, but I'm not even going to try and pronounce it right now, I need to look at it in front of me. Alright, so this is going to go here, and that will convert it into the absorbable or the useful D3. But in this country, we all need to supplement, and particularly right now, you know, there's a call for vitamin D, or people to make sure that they're having adequate amounts of vitamin D, because it is involved in the immune response, as well as controlling hundreds of genes, or helping express hundreds of genes across your body. And the important thing about vitamin D, sorry to labour the point, but I think as we're on the subject, we might as well talk about it, is it's not a vitamin, it's a steroid hormone. So it's a really important attribute of our diets, and unfortunately we don't get it as much in our diets. We tend to get it from things like fish, eggs, and there's a couple other sources apart from mushrooms, not many plant-based sources. Salmon, the oily fish, do have vitamin D, but they're unappreciable amounts, so we do need to supplement, particularly in the UK. I'm not too sure about Auckland though. Sorry, can't tell you about that in Auckland. Wouldn't it be nice to just chop up the mushrooms? It would be, but for the point of doing this as a no chop, I'm doing it without a knife. So humour me for a moment, because I'm just trying to lay the point to some of my friends that said, I can't chop, yada yada. So, and I actually prefer it not chopped, because if you see that, they've got lovely edges and ridges to them. It looks really nice, and I think that will be reflected in the taste of it as well. So medium heat, we've got the ghee going. I'm going to add some coconut flakes. Now you can buy coconut flakes in most places, they're pretty cheap. If you go to the baking section of your supermarket, you'll find desiccated coconut. It will work as well. We just want to try and get a little bit of colour on these. They're already quite dry, so it's not that you need to dry them out. But just adding that to it just gives a lovely crunch to or a different texture, I'd say, to the curry. And this is going to go onto one side. Now, I haven't put this in the method but I am going to add a slight splash of tamari to this, and it will just season the mushrooms that we've got going here and the coconut. So that's about probably 2 teaspoons of tamari, and that goes in together. All right, so let's talk about the other ingredients. So I've got some, like I said, I couldn't get Thai basil, so I've only got regular basil, but this is going to give a lovely aromatic lift to the curry, and it does work as well. It really does work. Let's put this to one side. Now, you could chop this. That's totally fine. I'm just going to rip them off. With the stalks, with the leaves, I'm going to use most of the leaves in the curry when we start simmering it, and I'm going to just save a couple of leaves to garnish on top. All right. And then with the stalks, again, don't throw these away. You can rip them up. You can chop them if you're using a knife, but you don't really just rip them up into like 2 centimeter pieces. It doesn't really matter. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to appreciate that a lot of people don't like using a knife, or they're scared of using a knife for whatever reason, or that took me a couple of seconds. But if you give someone who's a novice a knife, they'll be like, you know, honestly, I know a lot of you guys are keen cooks, but unfortunately not everyone is. So we're trying to make this everyone's show. Oh wow, we've got someone from Malaysia. Amazing. Is anyone, so add mushrooms with the coconut flakes, then remove from the pan. Exactly, yes. So we're gonna just get some color on this. It's already going a little bit brown. I mean, we've already got the tamari going in here. Put it around the pan for another couple of minutes, and then we're gonna remove that from the pan and then re-add this to the curry once it's simmering. So the mushrooms should be breaking down, and they kind of resemble like cooked meat portions, and it's going to give a lovely texture to it. And if you eat meat or fish or whatever, I mean I do as well, I'm not 100% plant-based or vegan, you could use this with prawns too, but we're adding yet another portion of vegetables to our dish, and increasing vegetables is the name of the game. It's very, very simplistic. And the data shows that, you know, the more vegetables we have in our diet, the better. So it's about sort of replacing the amount of animal products that we have and having more plants. That's definitely the way forward. Someone from Leicester, oh my God, that's amazing. I hope you're going to be making this. Why chop when you can rip? Exactly, you get a lot better texture. Thank you. And someone from Montreal, Canada, amazing. Thank you so much. Holland, brilliant. All right, so let me bring you back to the dish here. It's got like a velvety, beautiful, voluptuous texture, right? So you've got your mushrooms, they smell amazing, they look gorgeous, you've got like that lovely shine in it, and you've got your coconut flakes in there too. We're gonna pop this into a pan here, or sorry, not pan, another dish. Now, like I said at the start, you don't need to do this step. If you just want to carry on with the cooking process, then you just go ahead, you just do you. But this, I just think, adds a little bit more, or preserves a little bit more texture of the mushrooms, and it makes it a lot less slimy. Because if you overcook your mushrooms, they're gonna just lose their structure, and they're gonna become a lot more sort of soggy, for want of a better word, in the coconut milk that we're gonna use. So we're just gonna put this to one side. All right, if you've got a few in there, don't worry about it. All right, so these are your mushrooms. We're gonna pop this to one side. I'm gonna go straight in with our sambal. Now, if you did want to add even more flavor to the whole thing, this has already got tons of flavor in it, okay? So your sambal's got lemongrass, probably a bit of shrimp paste, probably, let's see what else it's got in it. Tiny bit of oil, a little bit of palm sugar. We have salt, garlic, loads of herbs and spices, tons of them. It's just a really easy way of just boosting the flavor of your dishes. So in that goes. And we're putting this in first because I want to add a little bit of color to everything that we're adding here. All right, a little bit more. Tiny bit more ghee, another teaspoon. And like I said, you can use coconut oil if you don't use ghee, that's fine. Put this to one side. Move this around the pan straight away. With those basil stalks, this is when you want to put your basil stalks in. And move that around the pan. So you want the sambal to just get a little bit of colour here. And that just, it adds a lot more depth of flavour because you're cooking out some of the ingredients that are already there. You don't need to add this step if you're like lacking on time. And then with the green beans, again, you can use your knife if you want, but if you're not averse with a knife, just grab your green beans. You can put them in whole if you want them a little bit, or I just think it's easier to eat as well if they're like chopped in half. But just rip them in half and that's it, and then they'll go straight in the pan. All right, here you go. I'm doing this for people who just don't know how to use a knife, and that's fine. You know, everyone's got to start somewhere, but at the end of the day, and you just come back from work, or you're only going to be coming back for work if you're a key worker right now. But if you're lacking on time for whatever reason, you're looking after the kids the whole day, and you and your partner are working from home, the last thing you want to be doing is chop at the end of the day. So just rip them in half and put them straight in, okay? No fuss. All right, so this goes in. Mix it around with the sambal. Coat everything in it. Gorgeous. Flavour, colour, everything. We're going to pop in, so like I said at the start, you can use frozen peas, you can use these sprouted mung beans, sprouted lentils. These are perhaps, and I've said this before, they're perhaps the cheapest and most nutrient-dense ingredients that you can buy on supermarket shelves or make yourself. They contain so much value in terms of phytonutrient density. They're sources of good protein as well, not complete protein, but good proteins. You've got fibre in here. It's like a perfect food almost. If I could choose one thing from the supermarket, if I was limited on choice or whatever, 100% I'd go for sprouted lentils. That and shelled hemp seeds as well. Again, another fantastic product. All right, throw those in, coat those in with everything. If you wanted to, you could also grate in some ginger or grate in some extra garlic. That would work absolutely fine too. Everything should be sizzling away a little bit nicely. Oh, and before I forget, I'll add the hot water to our brown rice noodles as well. Is anyone cooking along with me? Anyone cooking along with me? If you are, which in Birmingham, there's... Oh great, no worries. There's somebody I met in Birmingham. Nice to meet you again. Where do I get my sambal from? I just got this from, I think it was Whole Foods. Or was it Waitrose? I can't remember. But it's this brand called Nonya. Not an advert, I don't know these guys. Nonya Secrets. I think it's a pretty good brand. They've got beautiful bags of flavour. But any one of these will work, to be honest, guys. It's not really about the... it's not really about the brand or the particular sort of paste. It's just, the ease of adding flavour. I mean, if I had enough time, then I would make my own paste from scratch. I mean, of course I would say that. But, and I've got like a laxer paste in my book, Eat to Beat Illness, and a couple other pastes in my first book, The Doctor's Kitchen. So I've just put in hot water into brown rice noodles. You can use white rice noodles, you can use any sort of noodles you want as long as they cook in the hot water. And just leave this, well, I'm going to put I don't have a lid, so I'm going to put another plate or bowl on it. And just leave that, and then at the end we're just going to scoop it out. Don't need to tip it out or anything, you don't need to drain it, just scoop it out and pop it in. Alright, so we've got a bit of colour and flavour on the green beans. In goes about 2/3 of our basil leaves as well. Stalks and everything are already in there. And we're just going to add our coconut milk. It's right here. And I'm using just a full fat coconut milk. If you want to use half fat, that's totally fine as well. And just to make sure we're getting everything in there, I'm just going to use a little bit of the boiling water. There's probably not enough boiling water. A little more. And that immediately will stop the cooking process, right? So you'll hear it would have been frying before, and now it's just completely stopped. And now that whole object is just to infuse all the flavours that we've got from the paste, from the basil, into that coconut milk, and just let it simmer until the ingredients are cooked. It won't take more than like 6 minutes really. I've put 10 in the instructions. Oh, and if you do want to get recipes like this every single week, they're all sort of going to be in one pan and stuff. Sign up to thedoctorskitchen.com newsletter. We give you recipes every single week. My team work really hard on that as well, and obviously the podcast and everything else. Oh, and if you haven't listened to my latest podcast, it's all about how to heal a moral injury, which is this fascinating concept that I think we need to get to grips with in a post-pandemic era. So yeah, it's me speaking to a consultant psychologist at Combat Stress, which is usually it is a veterans agency that deals with PTSD of veterans. So those who have been in different wars and stuff, and for whatever reason they have mental health issues. So yeah, it was a fascinating conversation. So I'd highly recommend you check that out if you haven't already. I'm going to try and answer some of your questions if I have time. It looks like an enamel-coated cast iron. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a Crusade. But there are plenty of others. There's like Denby. There's like, I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Cover it as well. Sorry, I should say cover it so you can simmer away and yeah, and let all those flavors infuse. We'll probably put it on it's on a medium to low heat. No question. Glad to see you on the live. That's great. How do you do the breathing exercise this Sunday? So the breathing exercises are all going to be on YouTube. So you can check those out on YouTube. There are myself and neurogastroenterologist Dr. Rabia, who's incredible. You should definitely give her a follow. And we go through the science of breathing, the benefits of breath work, and how you can try and do this every day if possible. So I try and do breath work every day. I'm not very good at keeping to that. But even if you're walking, like walking meditations, walking breath work, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth in a very gentle fashion, activates your vagus nerve, reduces the sympathetic activity, increases parasympathetic activity, which are the two pathways of your autonomic nervous system. And we really want to try and rebalance it, because especially with what's going on right now, and crises and stress in general, we're always working pretty hard in terms of our stress levels. So trying to rebalance ourselves is quite a good thing. And I think we can do that with a multitude of processes, be it food, be it improving sleep, be it stress relieving techniques like breath work and psychotherapy as well. I think it's really good. Cool, all right. Can Med Supply Drive UK get a shout out? Yeah, sure, go for it. I just shouted you out. And you're redistributing PPE to the NHS. Thank you very much. That's brilliant. That's exactly what we need. I've got loads of friends that are based across the UK, and the availability of PPE is really variable, so I think it's really good. So if you're doing that, that's amazing, mate. Trying a few of the recipes today. Great, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, so going back to the recipe, we've got our lovely mushrooms here. Those are going in a couple of minutes, and then we're also going to throw in our rice noodles. In fact, let me just check on these. And as you can tell, like, you know, I'm chatting to you guys whilst cooking at the moment, but if this was just me on my own, then I'd be cleaning down this, and then by the time this is ready, the kitchen's clean, man. So you don't need to worry about like a bomb site being in your kitchen. So, you know, these are simple recipes that just fit in with your busy lifestyle, which everyone has, even if you're working from home, so that's totally fine. Can I develop a meditation app? I don't think I should develop a meditation app. There's so many meditation apps out there. I don't think that would be useful. However, I am in the process of developing two things. One is I'm doing a collaboration with a well-known brand of food, and we're actually going to be delivering food to the front line for free, and any proceeds from you guys buying those boxes are going to go 100% to NHS charities. I'm super excited about this collaboration. It's going to be with Pollen and Grace. We haven't announced it officially yet, but anyone who's listening to this, you're the first to find out about it. So we're going to be doing some promo work and PR around it next week, I believe. But it's going to be, I'm super excited about it. I'm super proud to be working with those guys as well. The box is, it's created by myself. The recipe is mine. It's in conjunction with Pollen and Grace, and they've just smashed it. And the fact that we're going to be doing this for 3 months, and all the proceeds are going to NHS charities, I just can't wait. It's going to be brilliant. So yeah, I'll be announcing that next week. Let me go back to this. Oh yeah, the other thing, sorry, I was going to say, is that I will be creating a digital proposition of the Doctor's Kitchen. Essentially, it's going to be a digital meal planning tool, but not like a calorie counting thing, none of that stuff. It's going to be like, how do you create and stock your fridge to create meals just like this in less than 30 seconds. So you literally sign on, these are your dietary preferences, this is what I like to eat, 30 seconds, bang, these are the number of days you need food for, I need it for 3 days, or I need it for 5 days, or whatever, and then boom, you have all your recipes, and then that will connect with supermarkets, and you can order your ingredients right there. It's going to be cheaper than a meal box, and much more nutritious, because the recipes are going to be formulated by myself, and the future vision is to sort of tailor these to not medical, but like, you know, nutritional needs and stuff. So yeah, super excited about that, but that'll be coming out probably in the next couple of months or so. So a few things to look out for. All right, so the brown rice noodles are just going in. If you slap a bit of water in, that's totally fine as well. You want a little bit of that water because it just gives a lovely shine to your curry. And the noodles will need another minute or so just to cook down. Pop this over here. Give this a stirry stir. All right. Okay. Oh, and another thing, if you wanted to add like peanuts or sesame or even black sesame, that would be wicked. In fact, I've got some black sesame. Get some black sesame. Where's the black sesame? I'm sorry, I'm going off piece now, because you should go off piece, you know, even if you're at home, you've got like sesame seeds, or you've got peanuts, or you've got almonds, or you've got flakes, whatever. Go for it, man. All right, so we're going to go in with our mushrooms now. Oh, this is looking glorious. I have to say, Dr. Rupee, you are smashing it tonight. Okay, fine, so that goes there. All right, and then we're going to finish it with some of these beautiful basil leaves. Again, if you've got Thai basil leaves, good, that'll work even better, but like the regular basil leaves will also work too. Oh, this one's good. This one's really good. Okay, and then I'm just going to pepper it with some flax sesame seeds on top. A little bit of colour, turn this off. Woo! And that is it. This is a curry and a half. Let me show it to you guys. You see that? So we have beautiful 3 portions of vegetables per person, beautiful Sambal curry paste. You've got your green beans, you've got basil leaves, good amount of basil leaves in there. You've got beautiful mushrooms, giving that meaty texture. Like I said, you could use prawns in this as well. What's the other thing? Oh, we put in mung beans as well, which are one of my star ingredients. And then finishing off with the mushrooms without overcooking it is a really good tip to just keep the texture of those mushrooms is exactly what you want. And I did that in less than half an hour, guys, and I've been chatting to you guys at the same time. This is what you can create in your kitchen, and unlike mine, because I've been chatting, this would all be clean at the same time. So the recipes that we're trying to create these days are the ones that are frictionless, the ones that marry with your lifestyle, and just help you just keep smashing your health goals. This is exactly what the Doctor's Kitchen is all about. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching. Any last questions that I can answer real quick? Scrumptious, thanks for the inspiration. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys. Can I save this? Yeah, I mean, it's going to be on the Doctor's Kitchen website. It'll be on the newsletter next week as well. It's already on my post on Facebook and Instagram, probably be on Twitter too. And if you were cooking along, let me know how you guys found it. And if you had any issues, just DM me or send us a message underneath the post that I'm just going to put it on this, and then I'll try and help you out next time, something like that. Great. Thank you very much, Linda. I'm glad you use all the recipes so much. Brilliant. Bye from North Carolina, USA. Amazing. Man, we've literally like covered the world tonight. We had Auckland, Canada, North Carolina. I've been to Carolina. It's really nice. Great. All right. I'm going to leave you guys to it. See ya. Bye. Bye. Thank you so much for watching this video. There's so many others for you to enjoy right here. Check out thedoctorskitchen.com, sign up to the newsletter where I give science-based recipes every single week. There's a podcast, there's 2 books, there's loads more content on social media, doctors_kitchen, and I hope to see you there.